Hey guys, so I wanted to show you my studio or where I work on my art. So as you can see, it's a little bit messy, and when you're doing your art, your space should never be as messy as mine. But I was getting ready to show you, so that's why I have lots of things out. Alright, so today we're going to learn about how to use our paintbrush and how to use our paint a little bit properly. Okay, so let's go in. And here we can see that I've already begun a painting. And then next to my painting right over here is what's called an artist palette, or where an artist keeps his or her paint. So you can see that I have lots of different colors already on there. Alright, and then to the left of my painting, right over here, this is where I keep my water, or in this case, since I'm using oil paint, it's called turpentine. It's a special liquid that helps me mix my colors and wash out my brush. Okay, and then over here I have my paint brushes. Okay, so let's get started. I'm gonna sit down and get closer to my painting. Okay, and it might be a little bit hard to see my painting, but what's important right now is to take a look at how I use my paintbrush. So first I'm going to pick one of my paintbrushes that I need. So it's going to be this one. And I'm going to dip my paintbrush in my turpentine, or in this case for you, water if you have it. If you don't have water, then don't worry about this part. But before I begin, I always want to do this. So I'm dipping it in, I'm brushing against the edge of the jar. And then now I get to choose some paint. So I'm going to start with a little yellow. Okay, and I'm going to start painting. So I'm going to start up here. And notice how I use my paintbrush. Am I going really fast? No, I'm taking my time. There's no need to rush. I'm enjoying how the paintbrush feels against my paper, or in this case canvas, which is a special surface you can put paint on. And I'm just going up and down and doing brush strokes. Up and down. Up and down. Okay. Alright. So I'm going along the edges of my paint surface, my canvas. And I'm going over here in the corner, or the corner of this object, which is a shadow over here. Okay. So artists, when you use your paintbrush, I shouldn't see anybody scribbling. Okay. I shouldn't see anybody painting not on the surface or painting around that. That's not a good idea. That way I'll get paint all over here. Okay, so if I go to step over here, I'll get paint on it. Or in this case, if you lean against it, you might get your hand on it and get paint all over your fingers, which can be messy. So I always want to stay on my paper or my canvas, whatever surface you're working on. Okay. Now, if I'm going to mix my colors, I first need to take my paintbrush, my handy dandy paintbrush, go back into my jar, wash out my brush, clean out the edge, and then go over to my palette. Okay, so I'm going to mix a little, you know what, I'm going to put some more blue out to show you better. A little blue and a little white. Any guesses as to what color it'll make if I mix blue and white together? What do you think? Alright, well, we'll find out. Okay, so again, I've already washed my brush, and now I'm ready to mix. Now, do you think it's a smart idea to go to one color and then to the next? No, why not? Because I'm going to get some blue in my white, see? If you look at it closely, that's icky. So if I'm going to use blue first, I need to always wash my brush before I use a new color. So let's try that again the right way. So I'm going to use blue first. See the blue? Okay. And then I'm going to mix it right on my palette first before I paint on my surface, on my canvas or paper. So I'm going to put a little blue in there. I'm going to wash my brush before I go to white. So wash my brush. And then go over to the white again. See the white? So that way I don't get any blue in there. Go back to my blue and then mix it right on my palette. Ooh, look at what color it's turning. That's right, you see light blue? Cool. Okay, so now I'm done mixing my color on my palette. Now I can use my paint, or the color that I mixed right here, to paint on my picture. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit over here. It might be a little hard to see, but there we go. Okay, so I've added a little light blue there. All right, when I'm done with my paintbrush, I need to wash it. It's always important to wash your brush in between each color and when you're finished. Okay, I'm going to clean it off on the edge of my jar or cup. And then I'm ready to put it away. So you put it on your tray, and I'm going to put it on my tray to be used a little bit later. Then I like to close it up so it looks a little bit neater. And I'm all done. Okay, so those are some ways to use your paintbrush properly, use paint properly, and your palette properly. Okay, so let's try it now together in our project. Awesome, thanks for joining me.